everyone, welcome back. It's episode 10 of Horns Up, your weekly heavy metal conversation. I am your host, Dan Kaplan, coming to you as always from Brooklyn. With me, my good friend Corey Butterworth, coming to us live from, where is it, Corey? Would it be a certain...
I'm at the gangbang at the old folks' home. It's awfully sweaty.
How's it going? Lots of loose skin and old balls all over the place?
There's sweat where I didn't think sweat could get.
Ugh. I don't want anything to do with that. Steel Panther, you are brave warriors for conquering that bullshit. So what's going on aside from naked, sweaty old people?
I don't know. It's it's been a World Cup filled week.
That it has. Lots of excitement going on.
Seriously, and we'll cover that in depth. Aside from that, I don't know, just a busy weekend with, Market Square Day, which we'll touch on later, and Father's Day and whatnot, and just getting prepped for some a weekend in the whites. So I'll get the new Aglock CD. It's due finally. I don't know. Aside from that, work and heat kind of blows.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's been. We're in my job we have a couple major deadlines coming up, and it's just been all kinds of crazy chaos leading up to that. But you get through it, I guess. I think I'm just noticing it more because I don't have any concerts booked up to cancel it out. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's true. And I'm not going to be going to too many more, I don't think. A smattering of them here and there, but until Vakken, I'm going to be kind of coasting a little bit, which really is only a month, so I guess it doesn't really matter at this point anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And don't forget that. Don't forget your quota of Vakken rub-ins. We
there will be some of them today.
Yeah, we God forbid we go an episode without you rubbing that in.
I think it went almost every quickie last week without mentioning it, which is just for shame.
Yeah,
for shame. I may have slipped it in somewhere. Who knows? Track of this
well,
shit.
you mentioned the World Cup. I mean, I know that is that's going to be it's going to come up again in our Horns Up, Horns Down segment. But gotta say, it is it's been interesting so far. I mean, I'm going to talk about a specific match, but lots of excitement. We've got Brazil looking kind of average. We've got
Spain eliminated. Chance to become just the fourth team in history to win the World Cup and then finish bottom of its group the following World Cup. Yeah, so I was going to say, even in the last World Cup, Italy didn't finish bottom. They just managed 3 mediocre draws.
Oh, no, they did. They did. New
Did they really?
New Zealand finished
really?
ahead of them.
That's right, on goal differential. That's right. All right.
Paraguay and Slovakia got out of that group.
Pathetic. That was supposed to be a cakewalk too, but I mean, frankly, this kind of was too for Spain. Aside from the Netherlands, who obviously is a good club, Spain wasn't supposed to have too much trouble here. But I'm happy. Not that I didn't appreciate how good of a team they were the past half decade or so. It's nice to see some fresh kits on the field going into the knockout round.
Yeah, take nothing away from Spain. I mean, they had a good run over the last half decade, but
right.
Time to pass the torch. So,
exactly.
At any rate, let's move into more relevant matters at hand here again, since we're going to be coming back to World Cup stuff later on. Let's get into some headlines. We've got a whole bunch of tour news from quite a few artists that we like. Starting off, we have an announcement from Arch Enemy that their War Eternal tour is going to be coming through this fall with Starkill, Huntress, and wait for it, Creator.
Yes.
Not a big fan of War Eternal, but this could be a fun show.
Yeah, it will be. Starkill, I feel like I saw them. They opened for Winter Sun.
They played the Winter Sun tour. Yeah,
that's right, with Flesh God and Arceus, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, they were a fun listen. I got no opposition to them. Creator's obviously a decent time. Will I go to the show? I'm gonna honestly say no. Nothing against any of those bands, but I'll be seeing 2 of them at here's another one, Vakken.
There it is. That's one we're keeping count here.
Both be there. Yeah, right. Arch Enemy and Creator will both be there, so I probably won't bother seeing Starkill and Huntress.
They're also
just saying.
When they come to your area, they're coming to the Palladium, so I know how you feel about that. probably one to skip.
It's stupid.
We get them at the Best Buy Theater here at the end of October. So that would be one. I gotta say, that'd be a show though where, and we've made our love for Alyssa White Glues very clear on this show, but that would almost be a show where I'd go for creator and then just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
I've had far too many shows like that, but what are you going to do?
Well, Alyssa White Glues is as awesome as she is. She's not single anyway, so what the fuck?
I know.
Wasting my time.
I have no chance of plowing this by going to that concert, so screw it.
Exactly.
So again, that'll be coming through in October. Keep an eye out for that. Tour dates are all available now. Next on the tour alert, we have an announcement from Dark Tranquillity and Insomnium, who are going to be touring together. This one's even farther out. This is in January 2015.
Right.
We always love Dark Tranquillity, some of our Gothenburg finest melodic death metal scene, but we are now I know both of us are now pretty firmly on the Insomnium bandwagon as well.
Yep, the new album was a good one.
Shadows of the Dying Sun. Still in my top 10 for metal so far this year, I think.
Oh, easily for me. I mean, it's just a great listen start to finish. It's melodic death metal. I mean, it's kind of like the Amorphous thing. At times, songs can seem to get a little repetitive, but can't not appreciate the quality. But either way, I'm on their bandwagon. I'm going to try to start working my way backwards with them. Yeah, kind of like how I did with Enslaved. So, we'll see how good some of their preceding albums are. But that's a show I'll definitely be at because it's actually kind of funny. The only show I've missed this year that I've actually regretted was Dark Tranquillity because I was sick at the time. It was also a fucking Tuesday. So this is a nice little retribution. They'll come back with a better opener, which is the best thing I could ask for, really.
There you go. Who opened for them before?
Fuck if I know.
Oh. We just have to assume that this is better because Insomnium.
Right. I don't remember them, so they sucked. Which is my justification.
Yeah. And then finally, the big one. King Diamond. Again, this is not a proper tour, at least as it's been announced yet. We know for a fact that King Diamond is going to be playing the Fun Fest in Texas alongside Judas Priest. Then he has also announced a New York City date for October 14th, as well as a Houston date for November 5th. King Diamond, it's been too long. Give us a tour. Give me your tour, please. I mean, just
he'll be around though. I think one's brewing. I know he's got a busy summer. He's doing the Fun Fest early, obviously not in the summer, but in general. Houston in November, but he's doing number 2, Vakken. So I'll see him there. So he'll be doing a lot of, I'm sure, summer festivals in general. So I'm hoping that kind of like how Solstafir did when they came to the States. Obviously, he's a much bigger act, but hopefully he doesn't come here for 2 shows and take off. Maybe he'll actually, do some shit.
Well, the way these are spaced, it looks like it's definitely time to accommodate a tour if he wants to. New York, in mid-October, Houston, Houston, November 5th. I mean, that's 3.5 weeks.
Just work yourself down. Go to a few cities.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like there's not going to be demand for King Diamond. I mean, he'll find a way to.
Of course not.
He'll find venues that he can play in just about any town that he'll sell out. So,
absolutely.
I am going to be keeping a close tab on when those New York tickets go on sale. Unfortunately, it's as I recall, I was looking at it. October 4th is a Tuesday. October 14th, rather, excuse me, is a Tuesday. So
that's so weird for a fun fest. That's in Texas.
That's in Texas, yeah. Kidding. The New York gig, I believe, is at Terminal 5.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Double check that.
I think that's what I read.
But, yeah. So yay! One more trip to the far west side for me. But again,
Tuesday night shows are so brutal. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dig 'em.
Again, we'll keep an eye out for that as soon as we hear any further dates announced. If there are any further announced, we will certainly keep you posted. moving on from tour stuff, let's get into some chart updates. We had, as you know, if you listened to last week's episode, we had a big week for new releases. We covered 6 on the podcast alone. I mean, there were many, many more than that. And we now have some chart positions available thanks to good folks over at Metal Insider. Leading the charge for metal, for better or for worse, among the new debuts was an album we didn't review because it sucked. That would be Hell Yeah, whose new album got to number 17 with almost 17,000 copies sold. I don't know the name of this record. I don't particularly care to look it up because it's Hell Yeah.
Blood for Blood.
Blood for Blood. There you go. But apparently almost 17,000 people don't have much taste. So...
yeah, good for them, I guess.
There's that.
I don't know. Like I was going to say, this thing was, or like I mentioned to you earlier, this was an article I actually saw today. And usually I include in the quickies because I feel like chart things are important. And all I saw was the cover of their album as like the picture, so I completely missed the article because fuck if I ever click on anything with Hell Yeah as the front picture of it. So, yeah, anyway. That's my story.
Oh, man. Moving beyond that, we have Arch Enemy, who got off to a pretty good start as well. They sold almost 8,300 copies of War Eternal, and they came in at number 41. For an aging melodic death metal band, that's not bad at all.
It's actually their best position. It's their best position in the States.
Yeah.
For opening week.
So props to them.
Hooray them.
Randomly, we also have in the top 100 new albums from both Body Count and Night Ranger for some reason. And then, unfortunately, this kind of made me wince a bit. Moving way, 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 way down the sales charts, past the point of charting, with sales of 500 copies and 300 copies, respectively. We have the Atlas Moth and Equilibrium. With the new albums Old Believer and Erden Temple.
Yep.
Old Believer is still not on Spotify, which fucking really pisses me off.
Doesn't make sense either.
But yeah, evidently, the thing with Atlas Moth is that's gotten a lot of good buzz, and you hope that they can keep riding that word of mouth and pick up some more sales around then. But so that'll do it for the chart recap for the metal side. I mean, there were some other debuts, but these were the ones that caught our eye the most. Let's move into news from a maybe real band. I don't know if they're a real band. King 810. King 810, who had a couple members recently arrested for actions in a bar fight, I believe, back in October. Is that correct, Corey?
Yeah, for the most part. It was the two guys in the band. I don't know what position they play because I'm still convinced, like you mentioned, that this isn't a band. It's just...
They're not real. They're on Mayhem Fest, therefore we hate them.
Yeah, exactly. I guess this guy, David Gunn, and this other guy, Eugene Gill, who are supposedly in this band that we're still not sure if it exists, King 810. Like you mentioned, they critically injured a man in a bar fight last October. And originally it was like they were charged for it because, assault is important. And it was originally charged as assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder, and has recently been upgraded to assault with attempt to murder. So either way, they're winners. But what I find so funny about this, because I've been following this a little bit because I kind of have to, obviously for no other reason, but they posted this citation to their Facebook page.
Yes.
Just a citation. No comments, no tags, nothing. Just a picture citation. And it's almost like, so there's no apology, there's no like, here's an update of our guides in case people were curious. This is just, hey, look what we do. And that's it.
Yeah.
So you guys are winners either way.
Yeah. I'm going to ask again, who the fuck are these guys? Why are they a thing?
I'm
not going to listen to them. I have no intent to listen to them. Like, they're on Mayhem Fest. That should be enough right there to let me know I don't want to listen to them. But
Right. I'm just so curious. Like, who are you? What is you? What is you?
What is you?
Well, the first.
What is
I
you? Where
Googled
are
King
I?
Seriously. I Googled King A10 band. The first thing that came up was like a free listening site. The second one was shitty local band causes cancellation of tour. And I laughed so hard because I'm hoping that's what it is.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. So that's that.
I guess they're from Flint, Michigan, which makes sense.
What's that?
So, good stuff there. I guess from Flint, Michigan, so it's starting to make sense now.
Yeah, it's a hard life growing up in Flint. They must channel their shitty existence in Flint into shitty metal. Maybe that's got to be the only explanation for it, I think.
But why do they have to put this shit on everybody else? Can't they just hold that inside and leave us alone?
You know the phrase, misery loves company. So
yeah, well, they're trying to murder that company, so they don't like it that much.
Oh man. Anyway, our final headline for the week, some news from one of Corey's favorite bands, Behemoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frontman Nurgle has announced that his autobiography is going to be released in English early next year. So how many backflips did you do when you heard this news, Corey?
All of them. Fucking finally, like seriously. I don't remember exactly when this book was first announced is going to be released, this autobiography. Obviously it's awesome because this guy, he's got stories. The dude's crazy. Not literally crazy, but he overcame leukemia. Maybe he's a little crazy. He overcame leukemia and he has these extremely I don't know what the best term for it is, but these like extremely like just outward views on things and these fascinating, takes on religion and what it is and how it came to be that I'm just fired up to actually be able to read this damn thing and see a little bit more the way he thinks, but beyond, fucking song titles and shit that are half in Polish. Because this guy, his like famous response to anybody that ever asks him about like religion or attacks him about religion, he always says, well, let's see, your God was nailed to a cross, mine holds a hammer, you do the math, or something to that effect. And it's always made me lol. But he was quoted as saying, and I think this is coming straight from the book, but I'm not entirely sure. He was quoted as saying, rough translation because, again, Polish, man created God to explain the unknown, and they created this God in their image, and then they put this God in their image higher than them and became inferior to something that they created in their own image, which makes no sense. And I agree, like 100%. Like, seriously. I mean, that's, again, you have to fall into the belief category that God is, a human concept. But once you, find that ground, then yeah, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I could talk about this for hours, and I'm not going to.
Right. The autobiography is titled Sacrum Profanum: The Confession of a Heretic. It's going to be coming out in English. Again, it's looking like early next year. I'm looking at this right now, and I think Nurgle really had a missed opportunity in this title. I don't know if you noticed, but "of" is spelled with an F.
Is not with what the dick?
He fucked up big time there.
He done fucked up.
I know I've told you this. I've had moments where I'm listening to Behemoth at work, and I'm actually typing, messaging documents, presentations, you name it, and I actually start to spell "of" with a V. And and then I catch myself and I'm like, oh no, that probably shouldn't go out to, all of our stakeholders, blah, blah, blah.
That probably should. Probably should.
But yeah.
So funny.
So again, we'll keep an eye out for that, and that will wrap us up for headlines for the week. Let's move into some new releases. We have 4 albums we're talking about this week that, I don't know about you, but I was personally not familiar with any of these bands before listening to these albums. Were you?
I knew of 0 of them, and I'll be completely honest with you, I will go back to 0 of them.
Interesting.
Nothing against any of them. I mean, some of this stuff was kind of cool, but none of it just really got me that much. Again, some cool stuff, but nothing I'm really going to revisit. Yeah, I don't know, but these are definitely obscure bands that I had never heard of.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, it's peaks and valleys, I guess, after the week we had last week. But
Yeah, that's part of it.
let's move into it. We'll start off with a group called Lecherous Gaze, who's out with Zeta Reticuli Blues. This is an Oakland stoner metal, punk, psychedelic, you name it, quartet.
Weird.
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys come from a hardcore background, and there's definitely at times more of a punk feel than traditional metal. But I mean, I'm listening to this thing. You hear shades of Motorhead, AC/DC, other types of influences shine through. It's kind of hard to classify it, but I thought it kicked an ass. So.
I did. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it. I did like the sound. It was really cool. I couldn't really figure out what the sound was exactly, but that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. There were times where I'd be kind of spacing out. I would listen to it, and then I'd hear Melly be like, "Oh, Pink Floyd, Relics era," and then I'd be like, "Oh wait, no, Motorhead. Oh wait, no, AC/DC. Oh wait, no, Led Zeppelin." So they covered everything. It was cool. It was cool, and I just read this on their biography, which I just found kind of funny. Lecherous Gaze is the prow of a mighty ship cutting through a sea of turd. That's funny to me.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Kudos to whoever wrote those promo materials.
Right.
But yeah, this thing is very raw. I thought at times it was just catchy as all hell. There is a fun but ultimately like kind of unnecessary cover of Baby Please Don't Go. But for the most part, I enjoyed this thing. Definitely worth checking into. Again, the band is it Lecherous or Lecherous?
I think it's Lecherous. I don't know why I think it that way, but that's what I'm going with.
All right. Well, we will say Lecherous Gaze. Again, the album is Zeta Reticuli Blues. It's out now. Moving on, our next album, we are going to get into the self-titled debut EP from Swedish death metal trio Under the Church. What did you think of this one?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's clearly an EP.
7 songs,
short.
21 minutes. It comes and goes quickly.
It really does. But it was one that, I almost felt like, in a weird way, 21 minutes was weirdly enough. I love the sound, but it was so in your face and so upfront. That's kind of just like, all right, I get it. This is good. And then it ends, and you're like, all right, I understood everything you were trying to do there. There's no confusion. There's no issues. Which I appreciate. It is just really just raw death metal. I mean, it's Christian, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I liked it though. I mean, it wasn't bad by any means.
Yeah, I thought this. I enjoyed it. I thought this thing like really just bites hard. It's just good old fashioned death metal. Right. You do occasionally get some slower moments in there, like the penultimate track, Haunted by Demons. But for the most part, this is just short to the point ass kicking. I rather enjoyed it. I'm going to be giving this one another several listens, I'm sure. But again, self-titled debut EP from Under the Church. That's our second album of the week. We go from there to a band called Doomsday Morning, a band from my neck of the woods, from not Brooklyn, but from Queens, New York City, and they are out with.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm not proud of them either, but fortunately. When you live in a city with 8 million people, you're going to get some shit. And their Doomsday Morning's newest album, Negligent Acts of Calculated Recklessness, is very much shit.
It's fucking terrible.
I'll be honest, I didn't finish this thing. This sounds like a lame-brained attempt at like Meshuggah gent type stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so shitty.
It's bad. It really is. I got most of the way through it, which I was kind of impressed with. Granted, I was also replying to comments on our blog, which is always a fun time. So I wasn't really listening to it, But I got through, the better part of it. It was awful. It was fucking terrible. I immediately thought like, oh, Frankie Palmieri, you'll be so proud, because it was like trying to be Meshuggah, but with all the angstiness of Amir, and I was just like, I think you guys are breaking music.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Well, you mentioned Amur. I noticed at one point in the song Hostile Takeover, there are lyrics that say, "You'd better kill me. You'd better kill me." Blah. And I was like, oh, Amur probably just got a big old heart on listening to that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I the lyrics I just didn't really
the other
stay with me. But
the other thing I noticed was 6 of the 10 tracks apparently feature guest spots from various people, and it's just like, why?
That's weird.
Like, are you that lacking in confidence in your own ability and your own ability to get things done as an artist?
Can't blame them.
I mean, frankly, I can't say I'd blame them based on what they gave us here. I would have very little confidence in myself as well. But shit, I mean, yeah.
All right, so reading from their biography, because I want to make fun of these guys a little bit.
Please do.
They are, quote unquote, built on a foundation of street credibility, dark intensity, and sheer brutality. Doomsday Morning continues to unfold. Doomsday Morning continues to unfold in new and creative directions, while only having released 2 independent EPs. What?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Yo, Frankie Palmieri did a guest spot on their 2012 EP.
Of course he did. Of course he did. I knew that there was some sort of shared blood between these guys. Apple doesn't fall far from the shitty tree in Queens. Again, Doomsday Morning, negligent acts of calculated recklessness. I'll be honest, I didn't finish it. When I was writing my notes, I normally do, when I'm keeping track of my albums, I normally do notes and then I say best tracks at the end. My entry for best tracks was "fuck you."
The end
Yeah.
of the album. Artists we also like, again from their page: Meshuggah, Blood Has Been Shed, Wu-Tang Clan, and Nas. What?
Who the fuck knows?
Jesus Christ.
Doomsday Morning. Check it out. Or don't. We'll probably like you more if you choose don't. Wrapping up this week, our final album, we have a new one from Dallas-based stoner metal band WOFAT, WOFAT, which is called The Conjuring. This is it's a long album. It's 5 songs in 47 minutes. And there is some really good sludgy, doomy sounding stuff here. I enjoyed it. It's not like, it's not the same kind of thing as we heard at Death Fest with like Bong Ripper. I mean, I think there is a little bit more structure to it, but I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of like if like The Sword were to go a little bit proggier,
Sure.
longer songs, stuff like that.
I liked it. I mean, I thought it was definitely cool. I mean, that's kind of what it reminded me of. It reminded me of like a better Bong Ripper, and Bong Ripper was, I won't say good, but the main issue I had with them at MDF is that they didn't keep my interest. I just thought they were boring as shit.
Right.
But like you said, this band definitely has more structure. They do more interesting things. There's actually some like catchy stuff, which is kind of weird for like sludge stoner metal.
Yeah. The chorus during Read the Omens in particular was really just really hooky.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, this is one of those albums that for me, listening to it succeeded under the church, and I immediately saw 7 songs to 5 songs. I was like, oh, another quick one. I'll be done with this in 45 minutes, and then I realized, oh no, every song's like 10 minutes long. I guess not.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
The longest on this one on The Conjuring, Dreamwalker, the closer, is 17 minutes, and it is all
dope
kinds
song
of
title.
epic.
Yeah.
Really just a great listen. What a way to close out the album.
Is WOFAT named after that fictional villain? That guy on
Hawaii 5-0?
Hawaii 5-0?
They might be.
Can it please be?
I don't know, but that just makes them even more awesome if they are.
I can't think of anything else it could relate to, like, at all.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but when I was reading up on these guys, I saw that come up, and I was like, oh, Interesting.
Yeah.
So again, the band is Woe Fat. Album is The Conjuring. Check it out now. It is on Spotify, and it's a fun listen. That'll do it for our new albums this week. Let's do our usual thing. Let's get back into some old albums and move into retrospectives.
Yep.
Corey, what do you got this week?
Oh, man. So if I didn't mention this in last week's podcast or the previous week's podcast, I don't really know when the fuck I watched this movie. But in the past month, I'll just go with that, I happened to watch Dark Floors, which is a movie inspired and featuring Lordy. A bad movie inspired by and featuring Lordy, but a movie inspired by and featuring Lordy.
Lordy, of course, the 2007 Eurovision Song Contest winners from
2006.
Finland.
But yeah, no, absolutely.
2006? Was it 06?
Yeah, sure.
it.
Their
Okay.
Wikipedia page says so. So it must be true.
Then it was 2006. 2006 winners of the Eurovision Song Competition. Only metal band to date to ever win the competition.
Yep. Thank you, Wikipedia, for keeping us informed. So after watching that, I had to go back and spin the Apocalypse once or twice. This is an album I actually picked up when they played. I can't remember. I think it was like the last Ozfest before Ozfest stopped being a tour. And I picked it up there. I met the dudes. They signed it. You know, it was fun. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous then. They're ridiculous now because I don't listen to them anymore. But I had to spin the damn thing out of principle and out of, just sheer amusement. And I forgot how much fun the album really is.
Yeah. I actually bought this thing as well. I bought the CD, which takes you, gives you an idea of how far back we're jumping here.
06? Yeah.
Yeah. And it is really cheesy. And yes, Lordy is so easy to make fun of, especially given their output recently, which has just been very mediocre. But there is a lot of really, really catchy shit on this album. Everything from Chainsaw Buffet to
Who's Your Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy to Hard Rock Hallelujah, the song that won them the Eurovision competition. One of the bonus tracks might be my favorite. They put Mr. Killjoy on as a bonus track.
Even Evil Love is good too.
Yeah.
I mean, even like the I guess the ballad, It Snows in Hell.
It Snows in Hell.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
All of these, like plays on aliens and monsters and hell and fun stuff. It's, they're like Guar light.
Yeah.
Like the Diet Coke of Guar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, unlike Guar, they take themselves and their music a little more seriously. They stick to their monster themes and not, fucking animals and stuff.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse. Recently it's been worse, but initially it was fun because they'd come out in these big, goofy, like Finland top hats, and then they'd be in full monster costume and all this weird other shit. I don't know. It was a fun listen. I don't think I've listened to an album they've put out, since this came out. Like Get Heavy and stuff all preceded it. But for me, it was just, it was a trip down memory lane. It's a fun listen. I can't really complain about it.
This is one of those. I think of another album that is very near and dear to me. It's not a metal album, but I think of. Remember when we were in like first or second grade, and Chumbawamba had that song, that tub thumping, I Get Knocked Down.
Oh, absolutely.
That whole album, I mean, no one knows this because everyone only ever pays attention to the song. That whole album was incredible. And everything they've done since then has been kind of mediocre. And I haven't really listened to anything they did before then. But it's like one of those things that album was just so... It just was like bottled lightning. Like it just, everything worked, and it's still a fun listen, Same thing with the Apocalypse. I still enjoy going back to that every once in a while.
No, yeah, I can't argue it. It's summertime. That song is going to come out again at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Summertime.
So, Lordy's The Apocalypse is Corey's retrospective for the week. Mine, I'm going to go back and a little bit farther in time, and we are going to go through Faith No More's The Real Thing. Those of you who know me know I'm a pretty big Faith No More fan. I'm a pretty big fan of just about anything Mike Patton does. Of course,
Yep.
Mike Patton, the vocalist for Faith No More, also for Mr. Bungle, Phantom Us, Tomahawk, you name it. And The Real Thing was his debut with Faith No More after the departure of original vocalist Chuck Mosley. And you'll recognize this album. You'll know this album from the song Epic, which was the hit single. It was huge on alt rock radio. That's the "You Want It Out, but You Can't Have It" chorus.
Right.
And what I love about it is that you listen to that song, for example, and it sounds almost rappy. I mean, during the verses, but then he puts on a singing voice in the chorus. There are songs on this record like "Surprise You're Dead" that are just like straight up metal, and he comes at it with almost a growly song. And then there are songs like "Edge of the World," which is very very jazzy in nature. This thing comes at you from all directions, and I think it's a little bit tamer than their next record, Angel Dust, which is probably my favorite Faith No More record. But this was, for our introduction to one of the best vocalists of his generation. You couldn't really have asked for much more than Faith No More, than The Real Thing. Excuse me. It's just a terrific listen. I mean, from songs like "Falling to Pieces," "Woodpecker from Mars." I mean, there's a cover of War Pigs on here, of Black Sabbath's War Pigs, which is
I just saw that.
is interesting. I my opinion on cover songs is kind of disintegrated. I used to love covers, and now I'm just kind of But this one's fun. It's a terrific album, and you've got the dream, the prime lineup of Faith No More, which includes guitarist Jim Martin, Mike Borden, who has also drummed for Ozzy Osbourne, things like that. I mean, it's a powerhouse record and still holds up well. This thing is 25 years old and it still sounds great. So that is my retrospective. Faith No More,
Nice.
The Real Thing.
Old stuff. We went back a ways this time around for these retrospectives.
Yeah, a little bit.
Seriously.
I mean, I sort of think it felt like we were keeping to like an unwritten rule of you must stay within a certain time frame, but this time I was just like, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah. Some stuff just doesn't matter.
So,
although I think we did do Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath once.
yeah, I did. I know I did Mob Rules, but
That's the one.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Anyway, let's move into our final segment. We'll do Horns Up, Horns Down, where, again, we talk about things that we've enjoyed this week and things that maybe we haven't enjoyed this week. Corey, what do you have for your Horns Up?
Sure. All right. Well, as I mentioned at the start of this show, this past weekend was Market Square Day in Portsmouth. The best way you can describe this is, Dan, you're obviously familiar with like the street fairs in New York City that just like eat up avenue blocks.
Oh yeah,
it's like one of those but nice. And like a lot of shit. It's like obviously it's like crazy, all this like different crazy international food, all these different vendors out. Basically, for the people that actually live in this town, me, my friends and stuff, it's an excuse to day drink literally the entirety of the day, which is awesome. So it's just it's just me. It's always just like a big group of friends, like usually 10 to 20 people, just cruising around town in the sun all day long, just meeting people and drinking heavily and throwing them back over the water. Plus the advantage this year was the World Cup was on throughout the day.
Yes.
And a lot of these outdoor bars would put up either TVs or projectors on like the walls of the buildings, and we could like watch the matches and stuff, which was awesome as shit as well, especially considering England lost, which was nice.
That was fun. That was
fun. I'll talk about that later when we get into more like related subjects.
In a couple of minutes when my Horns Up is World Cup.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna
Spoiler alert.
I wasn't gonna say it. That was your job. But no, it was a lot of fun this year. The weather held out. It was good. I think some like 80,000 people came into town this year, which isn't necessarily like the biggest amount for people that live in big cities and whatnot. But when you think of the size of Portsmouth and how this thing really is only like 3 or 4 blocks, it's a lot of fucking people in a small space.
I'll say.
So it keeps things interesting. It's definitely a good day. We always look forward to it when summer rolls around because it's like for us here, it's like the kickoff of like real summer.
Nice.
From that point forward, it's summertime. It's day drinking season.
And I saw
so-
you updated your Facebook or was it Facebook or Instagram, I don't know, but your nice little row of empty PBR cans per previous discussion. So
over the river, yep, over the bank. Yeah, PBRs because of the taste of summer. Actually, it was kind of funny because this is kind of like along the same lines because the coat of arms, one of the bars I frequent. They've been open for every World Cup match, so I've tended to bounce back and forth from there pretty much constantly since the World Cup started. And so Saturday, Sunday, starting with Market Square Day, and Sunday, Father's Day, and then Monday for the U.S. match, I was kind of like cruising around there the whole time. Monday, fucking the news walks in while I'm like hammered off my mind watching the U.S. Ghana match, and I got a nice little spot in the news. Guy got me on camera being ridiculous, and he asked me about 20 questions, and he actually ran about 3 seconds of me speaking, probably because I couldn't make words happen. That was a nice little end of my weekend.
Oh man, that'll be something we have to include in the dump.
I've got that link saved fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
we got it covered.
I watched the video, and it was funny because it was just the way that news channel captioned the interviews. It would give like person's name and then Portsmouth, like not like bar patron, not like a game watcher. Portsmouth.
Corey, Portsmouth. Yeah,
what do you do,
Portsmouth.
Corey? Oh, I Portsmouth.
I was gonna write a book called How to Portsmouth, and that fizzled because people can't. No, it was a fun time. I guess like if you actually listen pretty carefully, the guy like zoomed in on the back of my hat. I was wearing like a U.S. soccer hat or whatever, and I wore it backwards. And the guy zoomed in on it just for some footage, and like while he's zooming in on it, you hear me like scream at the TV, "That kick was to no one ever!" Or something, and it was just like my brother listened to it. And he just said he started laughing his ass off. So I don't know. That'll be in the dump. Crazy times at the local pub. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think it's your turn.
Well, continuing on that note, my horns up for the week is the fact that the U.S. beat Ghana. Ghana
Finally.
our mental nemesis, who had knocked us out of the last two World Cups. Finally, we scored inside of 30 seconds, did nothing for 80 minutes, and then finally, after giving up an equalizer, found a winner, courtesy of German-American John Anthony Brooks. Just 2-1. 2-1. Demons vanquished. Ghana not eliminated, but Ghana passed them. I mean, shit, we
finally.
People have been talking about how we were not the better side on the day, and frankly, we weren't. There were plenty of issues to be had with that performance, but we had luck and we got it done somehow.
Seriously, who cares? I mean, when it's the World Cup, now you just want to get your 3 points and move on. That's
exactly.
It. I don't care how you do it.
3 points is 3 points, and we are going into Portugal in very good position. That'll be coming up in a couple of days. That match is on Sunday. U.S. Portugal in Manaus in the jungle. So Portugal without Pepe, who received a red card.
An idiot.
Is an idiot, yeah. Also, Fabio Contrao and Hugo Almeida will be out with injuries. So this on top of the fact that Portugal just got their asses beat at the hands of Germany. So
because of course they did.
Yeah. So they're going to be licking their wounds. I am cautiously optimistic about this game. I kind of like our chances.
I do too. It's gonna if we can get a draw out of it at the least, we're gonna be in such good position going into the final match, especially if Germany beats Ghana. Because what happens is Germany beats Ghana, they win the group. That's that.
Right.
Fine. Ideally, they maybe take it a little lighter against us if they do beat Ghana, and then, they don't need to play their 11. And let's face it, we did beat, while it may have been the Germany reserves, we did beat the Germany reserves in a friendly. So you never know. You just never know. It's the World Cup. And frankly, if we draw Ghana, going into the last match, we have a 5-goal cushion and goal differential.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Not going to get too excited about it. I mean, you're going to watch these games one at a time. I mean, if Ghana beats Germany, then everything's all fucked up. But
you look at the scenarios though, and it's interesting. I don't think Ghana's going to beat Germany. I'd be shocked beyond belief if that happened.
Ghana
stranger things have
Ghana
happened.
has great pace, but
what's that?
Yeah, Ghana has great pace as a club, which worked against us as far as possession goes. But no, they're not going to beat Germany.
Assuming Germany gets the 3 points against Ghana, that puts them on 6. If we can get a draw with Portugal, that puts us on 4, Portugal on 1, Ghana on 0, puts us in a very good position going into the final match.
Exactly.
Where even if we were to lose to Germany, with us on 4 points and Portugal on 1, so long as we don't have a, like as you said, so long as we don't have a 5-goal swing, we're through.
Right.
Right. It'll be tough. I mean, but I'm optimistic, and I think I was reading 538, Nate Silver's blog, and he said that because of this result against Ghana, our chances of advancing from the group doubled this weekend. Or this week. We were at 33% to get out. We are now at 66% to get out. So
wow.
I like those odds. I like the jump in those odds. So yeah, it'll be interesting. There's some other really, really great games going on earlier this week. We had a thrilling. This is probably the only time in my life I will ever describe a 0-0 draw as thrilling. But that's the only way you could describe Brazil and Mexico. Tons of ridiculous saves by Guillermo Ochoa, Mexico's keeper. Just really, really, they were peppering him the whole time, and he held down. So, and of course, as we mentioned, England, Italy. that was fun.
That was the best. It was the best.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That one rip that Raheem Sterling had, everyone in the bar we were at thought it was in. Yeah. And then it just grazed the side netting, and we were all celebrating. We were going nuts, and then we're like, "Wait, he's not nearly happy enough for that." So what's going on?
Right. He's got talent for a young kid. Here's the thing about England, though. I wouldn't, and I probably said this last week. I don't hate them. I don't necessarily want them to lose, but I like seeing them not win because I feel like their fan base feels like they are entitled to winning.
Yeah,
and that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And honestly, and then going back to that match a little bit, despite the fact they lost, which is fine. I was actually really impressed with Italy, and this is a team I shit on a lot. I can a little bit because I have some Italian in me, so why not? They flop. They don't create chances. They park the bus. They're Italian. But they were, doing shit. It was awesome. They created some great chances. Super Mario looked, I hate calling that. Mario Balotelli looked good. Pirlo looked
rumored, excuse me, that is rumored Arsenal target Mario Balotelli to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There have been rumblings that we might try and make a run at him.
Yeah, but Arsene Wenger.
But we just signed a new sponsorship deal with Puma, and he's Puma's main dude.
That's exactly true. Actually, that's a good point.
So,
would you be getting Puma jerseys? Be curious what they look like. They make some good ones.
I can't remember. I don't know if they've even released the away kit yet. The home jersey's not anything special, but yeah. But some exciting stuff in the World Cup, suffice it to say.
For sure.
That would be, but chief among them, the U.S. national team's win over Ghana. That is my horns up for the week.
Yeah.
And now horns down. Something we're not all that thrilled about from the past week. What do you got?
I've been saving this one because I just wanted to get pissed off enough to actually use it. Mine's grocery stores. I fucking hate grocery stores. And there's so many reasons why I hate grocery stores. For one, aside from the fact that, let's just look at this from the bare bones perspective. it's incredibly difficult to just buy things we need to survive. And that pisses me off. But mostly this. When I'm hungry and I go to a grocery store, I buy a lot of crap I don't end up wanting to eat because it's probably terrible for me. And I spend way more money than I feel like it. And I have way too much food. When I go into the grocery store when I'm not hungry, I never buy anything. Ever. So it never really works out well. But beyond that, when I go into a grocery store, if I look down that row of checkout aisles and I see more than one person in each line, I will turn around and leave. And the reason for it is, by the time I finish my shopping, which takes me about 35 seconds, because unlike most fucking people, I know what I need and where it is before I even step foot in the damn store, it will take me less time to pick up all the stuff I need than it would take one person to goddamn swipe their credit cards to leave the goddamn store. So I will look in there, and if I see more than one person in line, I will turn on my heel and tell everybody to fucking eat a dick. Third of all, how about those huge fucking assholes, those fat people that are staring at the 14 different kinds of peanut butter and can't make up their goddamn mind? Holy Christ, it's peanut butter. The biggest deviation in price will be between the big jar and the large jar, and between those jars, it's going to be about, 50 cents. Fucking make up your mind. It's peanut butter.
Oh, God.
I hate them so much.
I have so many stories from when my summer job all through high school and college was working as a cashier at a grocery store. And some of the things you'd see people come through with, unhealthy looking people coming through with, was just mind boggling. You'd see like frozen chicken nuggets and pork rinds and this and that and just snacks upon snacks upon snacks. Like, yo, dog, I heard you like snacks. Like, what a strange place.
It was fine, like, when I was, constantly active and in college when, that's just stupid shit we did. But you're right. I was in the grocery store. I'm not even going to give the name of the grocery store because they don't have names to me. I was in the grocery store last week, and I was looking for, like, a protein bar because I was going to go to the gym, and I hadn't eaten since lunch. I was like, I need some kind of caloric intake before I head over there. And I'm standing there, and I can't see them. I can't see, like, I see where they should be on the aisle, against on the, like, the wall or whatever, but I can't, like, see them. And it's because I'm behind somebody that's as wide as it. And he's sitting there, breathing heavily, like, barely able to, keep breathing because he's a giant human being. So clearly just struggling to stand. And his wife walks over, equally as large, and they study these things, top to bottom, left to right, and they're like, I don't really like that one. It's only got this much protein. I don't really like this one because it has caramel. I don't like this because it's peanuts. I'm like, holy fucking dick tits. Whatever you're going to buy like 30 of them anyways. Just get a random box. Like, honestly, just close your eyes and grab them because it won't last 5 minutes anyway. Oh, my God. Why are you...
Deep breaths.
Just fucking fat people buying healthy food confuses me. Or that's a bad statement. Fat people buying food that's meant for athletic people confuses me.
Yeah, they must not be doing. They must not be doing too much of that if they're rotund. But
I like the taste.
Yeah,
it has
right.
nougat.
Well, right. I guess they're making the effort. So
no, they're not.
I'm just grasping at straws here.
Yeah,
so
it's all good.
Supermarkets. All right. That's a good one. For me, mine. I was gonna go one way with this, but I was inspired by the sudden wave of ass crack of dawn, ridiculously hot weather that we've been having here in the city. My horns down is hot weather. I know it's summer. I know, it's been summery. It's been warm for a little while now, and we've been easing into it. But all of a sudden, today, this is the first day that I've had to just basically come home and plop my air conditioner on and just do nothing. 92 degrees and humidity today. It was approaching the point where I couldn't spend more than like 5-10 minutes outside the office. Which is good because that was all the time I needed to run and get coffee in the afternoon. But
perfect.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so gross. And of course, it's the time of year when I'm out walking to get coffee, you see the type of people who, maybe some of the people you might run into in these grocery stores, who are just in less than the best of shape in the world, yet walk around wearing
Don't like clothes.
tight clothes, cutoffs, low cut shirts. It's just like, why are you wearing that? You're embarrassing yourself and you're grossing me out, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing okay with it.
Yeah. I am no fan of that. Luckily it's supposed to cool down a little bit by this weekend. Maybe get some, a rainstorm in there to, lower the temperature a bit, but it's just, this hot weather was,
it's
a mess.
Oof. It's that time of the year. I mean, I was going to say, like, this whole, what you can relate to, this whole, like, having some Italian blood in me. It's, I don't get 5 minutes. I shower, and then I leave my shower, and I go into my bedroom, and I put on shorts, and then I'm sweating again.
Yeah.
And it's like, perfect. I'm glad I just wasted the last half hour of my life getting clean, because I'm, excreting sweat from every freaking pore of my body again. And work doesn't go well.
Cold showers, that's the key.
Wear a suit. I don't want to. Yeah, it does help.
Man. I remember when I first moved to the city and I was trying to adjust to New York City summers, Mama Kaplan actually gave me a really good tip.
Yep.
She's like, fill your bathtub with cold water and just get in and sit and read for, just sit there for an hour or however long it takes for the water to warm up. And, really it just helps lower your body temperature, and so when you step out of the tub it just never seems quite as bad. So
nice.
helpful tip.
That's a smart idea.
Pro tip from the Kaplan house. Anyway, that is my horns down for the week, and that will about wrap us up for episode 10. Obviously, we are going to have some content coming your way over the next couple days. We will have a new edition of The Dump covering all the content we couldn't show you physically in this episode. We're going to have our Sunday Side Splitter, much more. All of this is going to be available on our blog, hornsupmetalshow.com, and we'll also be sharing it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/hornsuppodcast, and Twitter @HornsUpPodcast. At any rate, this has been episode 10 of Horns Up, as I mentioned before. Thank you, as always, for stopping by. We appreciate your listenership, your readership, your whatever ship, unless you are named Caligula, in which case, fuck off.
Suck all the fucks, you fucking fucktard.
Yeah. But for Corey Butterworth, I am your host, Dan Kaplan. Thank you, as always, for stopping by. And remember, live,
love,
plow,
horns up.
We will see you next week.